get this build started. Alright, so I'm going to build a keyboard tonight. The keyboard I'm building tonight is called the Tex Shinobi. Turn this down a bit, it's kind of annoying. Let's see here. I got this keyboard a while ago, but I haven't gotten around to building it yet. It's called the Tex Shinobi, and it's by Tex Keyboards. I think they have some other keyboards. Tex, I forget what, Yoga or something like that. So I've got here the keyboard kit, and it's nice packaging. And I've got my switches ready to go. The switches I'm going to be using on this keyboard are Dragonfruit switches. So these are pretty nice. They come with a decent factory lube job. So I'm just going to go ahead and use them in stock form. These are cool, colorful switches. They're smooth and they've got a nice tactile bump. They kind of remind me of first generation Zelio switches. So I'll put those aside for now. Let's open this box and get started. So the keycaps that come with this keyboard have a space already cut in them for the track point. So that's one thing that makes this keyboard kind of interesting, is it's got a track point, sort of like the ThinkPad laptops have. Boy, this music I'm listening to has advertisements in it, huh? I think I'll just turn it off. It's more distracting than anything. Alright. I'm gonna pull this out. Looks like the top and the plate and the PCB came out. And the bottom of the keyboard is still in there. Still in the box. So I'll set all these aside for the moment. I think I'll show the package is pretty cool. Came with this nice, what is this, a sticker? Yeah, it's a sticker to put on the back of the keyboard. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A little user's manual and some parts here. I'm gonna need these. Right. So I took the liberty of doing the stabilizers already. I've already lubed and modified the stabilizers to hopefully be smooth and rattle free using the modification that I came up with using the soldering iron modification that's covered in one of my other YouTube videos. So this keyboard I want to use for my TV PC because it's got a built-in track point. So that's what appeals to me about this keyboard. So the first thing I need to do is I need to move the track point out of the way. This little piece right here needs to move a little bit so that I have room to install the switches. So I'm going to need to loosen these 3 screws here. Oh, or just remove them. That's not what I meant to do, but that's okay. It'll work. It'll do. Okay, this little daughter board here. Let's see, does this thing come all the way off? Yeah, I don't really need to take that off. Just need to loosen it up enough so that I can have room to squeeze the switches in there. I don't want to make things more difficult than they need to be. Now I think before I go any further, I'm gonna just test real quick, make sure that this PCB is working at all. So I'm gonna plug it in to the USB cable for a minute here. Just test some of the switch contacts and make sure that it's actually working. Alright, let's see if I can get any key presses registering here. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Just checking if one key works. I trust that the whole thing probably works. So, without further ado, I think I just need to start plugging in switches. I think I'll turn the music back on. Let's see. Interesting. The escape key apparently has to, the switch for the escape key has to go sideways. It's kind of interesting. Now other than that one, it looks like these top rows go with the LED cutout on the top side. Okay, this one goes this way. Let's just look here on the other side. Yeah, it looks fine. If you notice, that one didn't go in right. If you notice, the slider housings for the stabilizers that I used are pink, kind of like the switches, so they kind of match. Thought that would be kind of cool. Okay, I don't like this music. It's annoying. I guess silence is golden. Alright. Oops. Got my own video playing in the background. Let me turn that off. There. Yeah. Alright. One of those switch pins bent as it went in. So I had to pull it out. There, that felt better. So I'm excited to get this keyboard built to use this on my TV computer. What I'm currently using is an old Logitech wireless keyboard that's got a built-in touchpad on it. So this will be an upgrade from my opinion, from my point of view, because the Logitech that I'm using is not a mechanical keyboard, and this one is. So that'll be nicer. Now, the other thing is I use ThinkPads for my work PC, my work laptop, and so I'm used to the track point. Rather than using a touch pad, I'm used to the little keyboard joystick thingy. So to me that'll be an upgrade versus the touch pad. Okay. And another reason why I'm excited to build this is because this will be the first time I use the new stabilizer slider modification that I came up with in a full keyboard. I've tested this new modification that involves using a soldering iron on just a PCB that had a stabilizer installed on it with a spacebar, with a 7U spacebar. But I haven't actually tried it in a full keyboard build yet. So the results, I don't know, the results might be different when you're actually typing on it. Remains to be seen. It didn't feel right. Pull that switch out and take a look. Felt like one of the pins might have bent as that switch went in. But it's tight fit. No, the pins were fine. It's just a super tight fit right there in that spot. Some of these pins have been a tiny bit bent though, so it's good to check, to look at them before I insert the switch. I'll have to open the other bag of switches pretty soon. I don't know what they call the profile of the keycaps that came with this keyboard. They kind of remind me of SA profile. It's a tall profile. Somewhat tall. Taller than Cherry anyway. Maybe taller than OEM. So it'll be interesting to type on those and see how I like them. I suppose it's meant to feel like some kind of old school ThinkPad keycaps or something. Because the whole point of these Tex keyboards seems to be that they're kind of like a ThinkPad without the screen. It's just the keyboard part of the ThinkPad. Except it's even better because, honestly, because you don't have to have the computer part built in, you get to use your own computer. So it's just the keyboard of a ThinkPad. So that's nice. So this will be kind of a practice build to get out of the way, to get the cobwebs out and get me used to building keyboards again, because I have several other fancier keyboards that I need to build. Not that there's anything wrong with this keyboard, but it's not what I would consider like a high-end custom keyboard. This is for what it is, it's a nice keyboard and it's good quality and everything, but it's not super custom in my opinion. It's not like CNC machined. It's not like very artistic. But the other keyboards that I need to build after this are more in that vein. So I have a, let me just check here, see if these pins went through right. Okay, good. So the other keyboards that I have to build when I'm done with this one, and this is not going to be tonight, but sometime in the near future, is I have a 7V keyboard. So that'll be really nice. I'm going to build. And then a Canon Keys Satisfaction 75 keyboard. That'll be also really fancy. And last but not least, a Project Keyboard Kepler. I'm going to build a Kepler. So 3 really super fancy keyboards that I'll be building in the near future. And another one that I will also be building is a Lubrigante. I have a Lubrigante keyboard to build, which is an acrylic, laser cut acrylic sandwich keyboard design that's meant to it's like a sandwiched version. It's like an acrylic sandwich version of the Alice, the TGR Alice keyboard, I think. It's that it's the one that's kind of curved. So that'll be fun. Haven't decided yet for sure what switches I'm going to put in the different builds that I'm doing. But I think I will probably use lavender switches for the Lubrigante acrylic sandwich. And I will likely use for the Kepler, I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the Kepler. That one's probably the most vexing decision. I might use Gateron cap browns maybe. I know for this, I know for the 7V, I'm gonna use pewter from Parallel, I think it is. Parallel Studios pewter switches for that one. And other than that, I'm not 100% decided on which switches will go on which keyboard. But at least this keyboard was kind of an easy decision because I had these Dragonfruit switches. I like tactile switches, especially like this style of tactile switches, the Dragonfruits, and it's just kind of a no pressure, kind of a low pressure build. It's not as expensive a keyboard as the other ones that I have coming up, and so I just figured these are already factory lubed. Even if it's not the best lube job in the world, it's gonna still be gonna probably be miles ahead compared to unlubed. Now I need to take a moment here and figure out which position I need to mount this caps lock switch in, because it's going to depend on what kind of caps lock key this keycap set came with. Okay, so here's the caps lock. Looks like I'm gonna need the non-stepped caps lock position. So I believe that's gonna be the one that's more to the right. I think the stepped caps lock would have been farther to the left. Just to be safe, I'll stick this keycap on here and yeah, see if I go over here, that doesn't look right. It's gonna be this rightmost position, I'm pretty sure. Now wait a minute here. What am I looking at here? This looks odd. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. There's an LED to consider as well for the caps lock. There's a caps lock LED. So how does that work? This goes in here. I guess the caps lock LED just goes off to the side. I've got their build guide. Let me see what it says about caps lock. Caps lock LED. Yeah, it just goes next to the switch. Okay, whatever. Fair enough. Okay. So this keyboard is going to be my first test platform for this new stabilizer modification that I came up with. See how well it works. And let me just get in here real quick, a close-up to show you the cool pink stabilizer housings that I used. Aren't those nice? Nice and pink. And I've already got the stabilizers greased up, ready to go. Ready for a rattle-free experience, hopefully. That's the goal of all the stabilizer tweaking that I do. It's all about getting a smooth, rattle-free experience. I think I'll... No, not yet. Pretty soon I'll need to turn on my soldering iron so it can start warming up. Boy, this is going to be a really simple build. Looks like not a lot to it. That's nice. Good. It's already late at night. I don't want to be up all night. But late night is pretty much the only time that I have these days with my daughter and my wife and things going on. It's kind of the only time I have for something like building a keyboard. Would be late at night when the little one's gone to bed and even my wife has gone to bed. So let's see, there's one viewer watching right now. So that's nice. Somebody's watching. And I'll post this video to YouTube as well when I'm done, in case anybody wants to check it out later. I really need to, well, I guess I don't need to, but I would like to find a better source of royalty-free music to listen to while I'm building keyboards. I didn't care for the one that I found on YouTube. It was just a lot of F-bombs for me, for my taste. kind of didn't seem that imaginative to me. There's like no words except, yeah, mother, father. Except that's not what they said. Naughty, naughty, not very wholesome. Okay. So, let's see, where's the lid? As you can see, I have 7 leftover switches here. I need to get to soldering. So I've just turned on my soldering iron. Let it heat up. Now, this kit also comes with, why does it have some, it has some extra keycaps in this separate bag. I don't know why. But it comes with some cherry low profile switches for what amounts to the mouse buttons. So for some reason they weren't able to design this in a way that used regular switches for those buttons, I guess. Or maybe they just didn't want to use regular switches because they wanted less travel on these buttons. I don't know. But to me, it would make more sense if these switches here were clicky instead of linear, but they're linear. So I'll probably come back later, desolder these switches here, and replace them with clicky ones. But I wanted to get this keyboard built so I can use it, play with it. And I didn't want to wait for the clicky switches to ship to me, because that's going to take a while through AliExpress. So I'll come back to that later. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's get to soldering. Got my nice Delta solder. Got silver in it. I like this stuff. Let's see what my soldering iron's set to. Turn it up a little bit higher. Try to go faster. Should we get a better view of this with the soldering? Let's see if we can get a better view. I need to move these screws out of the way so I don't lose them. Okay, well, 1 second here. Give me 1 second. Okay. that in focus? It's a touch blurry to me. I guess we're zoomed in pretty tight. Alright. Now, I believe I've soldered all the switches. So, I'll plug the daughter board back in. This daughter board for the daughter board that's for the track point. I disconnected it while I was soldering the switches so that I would have more room to work. So now I'll go ahead and plug it back in here. There. Looks snug. I'll flip this bad boy over and do a switch tester. See if all the switches are working. Okay. Turn up my sound a little bit so I can hear. I like to hear the keyboard tester sound that it makes when the switch is working. Let's see, this key is not registering, but I think it might be because, okay, that's the function key, so that I don't expect anything to happen. This is control, this is Windows, spacebar, menu. Okay, everything appears to be working. So, since everything's working, next thing I'll do is screw the track point back in where I had unscrewed it earlier to reach the switches more easily. I need those screws that I used. Three of them. There's two. Where's the third one? Ah, there it is. I think this screwdriver was magnetic. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's convenient. Now let me just verify that the track point is actually working, because then I'm going to stick down the daughter board. It has a double-sided tape. Okay, yep, it's working. So now what I'll do is, right over here, there's a double-sided tape that holds the daughter board on. Come on. There. Stick it down nice and secure. Now, I also, with this keyboard, purchased a Bluetooth add-on module. Now, if it's not too much trouble, I want to go ahead and set that up as well. It looks like it connects over here with what looks like a serial ATA connector, but I don't know what that is. It looks like the kind of connector you would use for a serial ATA hard drive, maybe. But let's break it out and see if that's a reasonable option to go ahead and install this while we're here. It's the BLE module, okay? Bluetooth Low Energy. So, don't know if it comes with any instructions. Oh, it does. Nice. Sweet. Make sure turn off battery power switch and remove USB cable power before you install BLE module. So the keyboard SATA connector. So it is a serial ATA connector. Okay. So the battery switch needs to be off, whatever that is. Battery switch, I'm guessing this thing has batteries. Oh yeah, here we go. So this little bad boy right here, yeah, got its own little batteries. Alright, well, how do I get into this? It came with batteries. That's nice. Batteries included. Oh, and there's another thing that I gotta do. Don't want to forget. I need to solder on the caps lock LED. So we'll get to that as well. Okay. Oh, there's a nice little battery door. Okay, so this is so you can change the battery without taking the thing apart. This is nice. This is very nice. I like this. Okay. Batteries are in. I'm gonna make sure the switch is. How do I don't know which way is on and which way is off, to be honest. Sheesh. It says to make sure it's turned off before you connect it, but I don't know which way is on and which is off. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna assume, I guess, that I'm gonna assume that it's currently in the off position, because I don't know how to tell. There's no lights or anything. Okay. All right, let me see if this is gonna work here. Before I assemble the keyboard, I wanna pair this if I can. I'm gonna connect this serial ATA connector, and let's see, Bluetooth. See if I can find my Bluetooth settings here. Okay. add a Bluetooth device. Bluetooth. There it is, Tex BLE KB1. Oh. Oh, I have to enter a number. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8, 9. 0, 0. 4, 7, 9. Enter. Oh, okay. I did it. Did it without keycaps on. That was kind of annoying. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, it's working. Sweet. So it's paired now. Now let's flip it off. Power it off. Unplug it. This is going way too smoothly. This whole process is just going, it's just eerily smooth. Okay. You'd think that that something would go wrong here. Well, there's still time for something to go wrong. I still need to solder on the caps lock LED. Okay. Caps lock LED is somewhere around here. Oh shoot, did I lose it? That would be a bummer. See, that could be the one problem. Oh no, it's probably in this bag. Yeah, it's in this bag with these parts. Okay, so it says, for the LED, it says to solder the longer wire through the square hole. Okay. Long wire through the square hole. That sounds simple enough. The longer wire through the square hole. Flip it over. Solder that bad boy down there. Then I'll test it and see if it worked. Alright. Before I clip the legs, I'm gonna see if it's actually working first. Then I'll trim the legs. Yeah, it's working. Telling you, this build is blessed. Everything's going so smoothly. It's a little bit eerie. Okay. Now let's get into some weird stuff here. Now that everything went smoothly so far, and I know everything seemed to work, I'm gonna stray into the territory of custom keyboard modifications because that's what I like. So I'm gonna see if I can put something on the back side of the PCB to make this have a better, nicer sound. So I'm gonna look here. So the way this sits in the bottom of the case, I want to know if there's space to put anything on the back side of this PCB. So it looks to me like there might be enough space. So let me go ahead and get something. I'll show you what I got in mind. What I have in mind for this to make it sound cooler. Let me hope that my scissors are. But I don't see my scissors. I do need some scissors for this. I might have to run and grab my scissors. So I have this. This roll of rubbery self-adhesive stuff. I want to put some of that on there, on the back side of the PCB to make it sound better. I'm gonna go get my scissors real fast. I think I know where they are. Okay, scissors. I'm gonna cut some of this stuff to fit on here. So I'll do one layer down here for starters. Let's see. Up to there. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. There's some stuff in the way. There's some things protruding from the PCB. Most importantly, there's these dip switches. So I'm gonna cut a window in this material around that to accommodate that. I think I'm just gonna lightly score, and then I'll cut without it being on the PCB because I don't want to risk damaging this PCB. Okay, that's good enough for me to get the idea of where I need to cut. And I'll do the actual cutting with it not on. And then I need to cut around this little guy here. Okay, let's do the actual cutting. I have some little scissors that I use for this. Stuff is like vinyl, I think. I don't know, but it's self-adhesive, whatever it is. You know what? I better make sure which side the sticky stuff is on. Make sure I got the right side. The correct side. Oh, jeez. Okay, where's... Try to peel the adhesive, I'm just trying to double check which side the adhesive's on. Okay, good. It's on the side I thought it was on. That's good. Okay, let's finish cutting these holes. I found that adding something that mass loads the back side of the PCB really helps with the acoustics. And some people have noticed this as well. A lot of people have noticed this, and some people call it just taping. Some people will just put tape on the back side of their PCB. I think this is a step ahead of that even. Rather than tape, I'm using something with even more mass. So I would think the effect should be even more dramatic. Okay. Let's get to sticking this on. Let's see, where's that edge that I started peeling up? There it is. That's pretty sticky. Wouldn't want to stick it to the wrong spot. Gonna have to be really, really careful. Pretty sticky indeed. Looks fine to me. Let's see, where did my little scissors go? Just cut these little edges here. They might interfere otherwise. The PCB is trimmed here, so I'm going to trim this stuff as well. Make sure that it doesn't get in the way. Okay. Looking good so far. So far so good, I think. Now the moment of truth. Make sure that it still fits in the base piece of plastic. Uh-oh, something ain't right. Oh, I need to cut. There's a couple holes that I need to cut, but nothing too serious. Okay, let me just press down to make an impression of where I need to cut the holes. Oh yeah. Yeah, here we go. Here and here. I neglected to trim. Little razor blade work will make short work of that. Okay, there's one of the holes. The other hole. All right. And that's the main typing area, so that's probably all I'll bother dampening. I don't think I'll bother dampening anything else. Because that's, well, maybe. Let's see. Let's see how hard would this be to add some more. I need about half or about a third. I need about a third of this. Okay, so I don't want to cover it. So I don't want to cover the microcontroller because of heat, because it might overheat if I do that. So I'll just go up to about right here. About this thick. About like that. Right up to the edge of that microcontroller. But then I also need to avoid the daughter board. So, just to make things easy for myself, I'll just go chop here, and then another chop here. Okay. Now let's peel and stick. Peel and stick it. Peel and stick this other piece. This stuff isn't two-sided, is it? Like the adhesive. I think the adhesive is just on one side, but I'm not sure. Ooh, I got the edge of the daughter board there. There we go. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Okay, this stuff doesn't have adhesive on both sides, does it? That would be crazy. Nah, I don't think so. So now, okay, I'm gonna press it. Try to stick it as good as I can here. So that means this thing is never coming apart. So if you ever want to take it apart, sorry, you can't. That's the price you pay for the superior acoustics that we're gonna have. Now, to make sure this stuff is stuck down as good as possible, I'm going to do one more step. Now I'm done with my soldering iron. I'm going to unplug my soldering iron and plug in the heat gun. You'll see why. I'm going to warm up this material to make it stick really well. Make it conform a little bit better to this PCB. Wow. If you thought it was on there before, now it's really on there. All right, good enough. Now that's really on there well, conformed, stuck on there really well. Now let's finish putting this thing together so we can use it. So that goes there. Wait a minute, what are these O-rings for? There's red O-rings. Don't know what they're for. Let me just look at the build guide real quick. See if it gives me any clue. Huh? Is that for the keycaps? Oh, dumb. Okay, I skipped a step. So before I tighten the back, before I tighten the screws on the back, I need to tighten. There's some screws on the inside that I need to tighten. So back up step. So see, it was going too smooth. It needed to have something needed to go wrong. Other than that, though, is there anything else? What's the deal with the O-rings? O-rings. So the O-rings, it says, are in case you want to soften the keystroke of the mouse keys. Okay, I don't care about that. So not necessary. Optional. Okay, so there's 6 screws that I need to tighten before I assemble the back to the front. What the heck? These do not exist. Okay, that's interesting. It's not entirely accurate, but it's close. What the heck? Keep a monitor on the bottom case and tighten up 6 screws. Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. My bad. This is the top. Yes, of course. Okay. Let's do this correctly. Okay. It says to be careful not to over tighten, so it's good advice. It is just going into plastic after all. Straight screws threading straight into plastic. So do need to have care when tightening these, not to strip them. You know, it probably would have worked if I'd have skipped this step, but I'm glad that I'm not skipping it, because everything will be more solid, and that'll probably benefit the acoustics as well, for everything to be held together more solidly, I would think. I don't know. Okay. Now we're back to this face. Yeah, I like that snap. That satisfying little snap. Okay. Now back to what I was doing. Looks like they provided one spare screw in case you lose one, I guess. Now it's a good time, as good a time as any, to affix the sticker on the back. I suppose. And to remove this dummy module, and put in the actual BLE module that goes here. So you can see it sticks out a little bit more than the filler module. That's okay, I don't care. It's worth it, because I want to use this wirelessly on my TV PC. And I love that it takes AA batteries. Don't need to worry about another charger kicking around. Don't need to worry about. And you know what? Come to think of it, these batteries, dry battery. Okay, well, whatever. I guess they're not rechargeable. That's fine. Okay, so this thing should be working now. Should be functional right this minute, in theory. Let's see. Yep, it is. Sweet. Alright, let's shut it off for now. Let's start putting on the caps, and then we'll be done. And I do have a blue enter key for some reason. Don't know what color the other enter key is that it came with, but blue seems nicer to me. I'm gonna take these headphones off because I'm not even listening to music, so. Sounds remarkably like an old school, old-fashioned keyboard. Okay, I need this little blue bit. This part's kind of important. This little blue bit. This little blue thing right here goes. Let me show it up close. See that little blue thing? It goes on that little stem, I think, for the track point. I think so. Yep. Yeah? That's not in focus. There. Alright, keycaps. Keycaps. These are for the mouse buttons, I gather. Oh, this is going to be nice. It's going to be such a nice upgrade over what I have on the TV right now. Sounds pretty good to me. Heck yeah, dude. This is going to be tight. The layout's pretty weird, I will say, but I don't care. I like it just fine. Command, I guess that's for, probably for Apple users. That's an Apple thing, I think. I think that's what that's about. Non-blue enter. No, thank you. That one stabilizer's feeling a little bit sticky. So I'm just gonna work it a little bit here. Okay, hopefully that'll loosen it up better. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Caps lock function. Another command. Command? What? Alright, what's this little cute thing? This one here. Oh. It's like a forward and back, I think. ASD F CXC QWERTY UIOP control. Oh, that doesn't go there. Tricky. That goes over here. Yeah, it's definitely an oddball layout. Wait, is that where that goes? We'll see. Function control window alt function. What the heck? It's a weird layout, I have to say. That's why I went ahead and got the keycaps that came with the keyboard. I didn't try to put my own keycaps on here. That would have been challenging to try to get that to work with cherry caps. No thanks. that another Apple thing? I think it is. Don't know what that is, but I don't think it's for me. Yeah. Command. So many command buttons. Control, okay. Not sure about that one. Menu. Command. Sheesh. This is looking pretty hot. Starting to look pretty sexy right now. Opt. What was I doing here? Oh, it's a funky J. That's what it is. Okay. Ta-da! The keyboard is built. Yay! Just stow the extra parts and the instructions so I don't lose them. Let's do a little typing test here. See how she sounds. Alright. Boom. Let's put these in with the extra parts. Leftover parts, I should say. Okay, you can see this is going to get fingerprints real quick, but that's okay. Fingerprints, sweat marks, whatever. Okay. Just about done here. Let's see. Typings. There. Let's do a little typing test. See how it sounds. Oh yeah, let's turn it on first. Okay. Okay. Let's see how this sounds. Sounds interesting. No, not really what I was expecting, but I think it sounds pleasant. Let me get the microphone closer so we can get a better sound, get a better recording. Sounds okay to me. Let's do a longer one. All right, well, that's that. And that concludes this stream. Keyboard is built, ready to go, be used on my TV PC. Ready to get fingerprints all over it. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and hopefully we'll see you next time.